Yo, how's it going, everyone? I hope you all are having a wonderful day. I'm Amaz, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Elden Ring, the worldwide sensational video game created by From Software. It has a manga adaptation. Now, this isn't the first From Software game to get a manga adaptation. However, compared to those other ones, which tend to have a more dark tone to it to match the dark tone of the video games, the Elden Ring manga is a gag manga. Now, I know what you're all thinking. How is the Elden Ring manga gonna be a comedy? And I'm gonna tell you this right now. It works. It actually works. It makes sense, and it's really good. And one of the things that makes this work so well is that the protagonist, which is supposed to be the player character, is the depraved class. For those of you who don't know, the depraved class is a character with no clothing and just a club. So when the character has no clothing, they're just in a white cloth. They're wearing nothing but underwear. Now in the manga, it starts off the same way as the video game does. That entire opening cinematic is done in a manga format. Now the way the cinematic ends is with Melina finding the player character and commenting that Torn is choosing them to be their new master and saying they have the potential to rise to become Elden Lord. But in the manga, Elna runs into this depraved class character in nothing but his underwear. She takes one look at him and is like, wait, this can't be right. This guy looks like a total idiot. He's a bum. Torrance, are you sure this is the guy you want to be your new master? Torrance like, yes, he has a fine bottom. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. So I'm guessing since he's gonna be under you this whole time, and he needs to have a good butt for you, right? But anyways, the story continues on with the character just trying to get through the lands between while having no clue what's going on. Similarly to us, where we have no idea what the backstory is for the player character. All we know is he came to the lands between, got beaten by that spider monster thing, and then woke up in a cavern. It's the same thing with this guy. He has no idea what happened before that first initial tutorial fight. And the manga goes through all of the usual progression that you would go through the game. You meet Varus when you first leave the tomb. He calls you maidenless. You get pissed off and try to kill him. Perfectly normal progression, right? Then you see the giant tree sentinel right in front of you. And of course, you're gonna go up to it and try to see if you can communicate with him. Maybe he's an NPC just like Varus. And then nope, you get one shot by the giant beast. Perfectly normal, right? We all experienced that when we first played the game. So this manga is clearly being true to the original story. And anyways, that's not the best part of the manga. When Melina finally reveals herself to the protagonist, she tells him since he doesn't have a maiden, she herself can act in that role as long as he helps her accomplish her goal. The protagonist is hella confused as to what's going on, because remember, he has no knowledge about this world, so he has no idea what she means when she calls herself a maiden. And then she gets to know it and it's all like, do you know what a finger maid? He's like, no, you don't need to speak slower. I'm not that stupid. He's like, well, clearly you are, but it's okay. And this running gag where Melina just continues to insult the protagonist, it's hilarious. She treats him like the biggest idiot. And then after simplifying the explanation into video game terms and telling him like, hey, go kill enemies, you'll get experience points, then you come to me and I'll level you up. It's like, oh, you can make me stronger. Yes, let's do it. And then she levels him up and he feels like, oh, I feel the power coursing through me. It's like, well, I increased your intelligence, so I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, what? Why would you increase my intelligence? We're clearly talking about making me more powerful, so you have to increase my strength stat so I can do more damage. And Melina just continues to insult him. It's like, you're an idiot. I'm not gonna have you wander off some cliff. I'm gonna increase your intelligence so you at least know where to go first. And as the protagonist continues to explore the region, we run into familiar characters like Blaidd, for example. And then he demonstrates why Melina increased his intelligence stat. So Blaidd, being the big tough guy, easily one-shots a bear who any normal character would struggle against. And then when the protagonist tells him where Darrowil is in order for him to go kill him, he starts going in the wrong direction. You give him a map, he has no idea how to read it. So it clearly indicates Blaidd has high strength stat but low intelligence stat, which sets up a lot of comedic timing between the two characters. And what's even more hilarious, this is my favorite part of the series so far. When Blaidd finally finds Darrowil, we learn of what this great betrayal was that was mentioned in the video game but never elaborated on. It turns out Blaidd and Darrowil created a Ronnie fan club, and one of the activities of the fan club is creating dolls in her image. Blaidd is of the strict notion that the doll needs to look as closely to Ronnie as possible. However, Darrowil is like, we could dress her up any way we want. We could put her in any pose, give her any facial expression. Why wouldn't we? Come on, Blaidd, you know you want to put her in sexy outfits and make her do cool, cute poses. And Blaidd is insulted by this, like, how dare you change Ronnie's image? She is not that type of person. Her doll needs to be exactly like her, despite his doll looking nothing like Ronnie at all, because he apparently has poor artsmanship skills. He has no dex whatsoever whatsoever. His dex stat is also clearly low, which is that way in the video game. In the video game, he's mainly a strength character, while Durwell has one of the best dex weapons in the game. Well, it's better as a quality weapon, but still, you get what I mean. It has high dex requirement and scaling. As such, his doll looks so much nicer. He has better dexterity, so he's better at molding the statue exactly how he wants. And Melina, watching this, is like, you guys are the most disgusting pieces of shit out there. How dare you make dolls of my older sister? Well, half-sister, but still, that's more of the lore for the video game. And she's completely disgusted by the fact that they're making dolls of Ronnie. And she gets so annoyed, she beats Daryl to death. While Blaidd is slowly being convinced to see things Daryl's way, Ronnie beats Daryl to death with a stick. She's like, I got so sick and tired of hearing you nasty, disgusting creeps talk about her that way. I'm done. Let's get out of here. And Asio, the protagonist, is just like, what the hell is going on here? Just being lost as usual. And that's the common theme of the story. Asio is just lost and not willing to do anything. He's just trying to take things the easy way out. Ooh, which reminds me of this situation. So, as you guys know, in the video game, the first progression boss is Margit, the fell Omen. And you fight him at the entrance to Stormvale Castle. He knows you're going after Godric's Great Rune and wishes to challenge you in order to stop your ambition. However, the protagonist of the manga, Asio, doesn't really have any ambition. He's just trying to survive, and he's just going whichever way Melina tells him to. And when he runs into Margit, he senses his strength, and then he prepares himself to die by just lying down and accepting. He's like, I can't beat you, just kill me painlessly, please. Margit gets so heated at this. He's like, you have warrior blood in your veins. You are blessed by grace. And yet, you don't even want to bother challenging me? Come on, man, I live for this. Beating up Tarnished, who have great ambitions, is the only reason I live for. Don't take this away from me. You know what? Here's a sword. You want to do these movesets. You want this Ash of War. If you don't know what Ash of Wars are, there's this cabin in the woods. Here, I'll mark it on your map. Go to this cabin. There is a guy there who will teach you all about Ash of Wars and give you the ones you need. Also, here's a talisman pouch. You can equip talismans to make yourself stronger. Go get stronger and challenge me when you're ready. And then Margit leaves, and Asio was like, oh, thanks for the advice. Now to completely ignore all of it and just progress through the story. He just skips Margit and goes straight to Godric. I couldn't help but laugh my ass off, because when Margit was giving him all of this information he needed to get stronger, he completely ignored. He's like, okay, whatever, I don't want to do all this. I'm just trying to finish this game as easily as I can. Which is absolutely hilarious, because I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who are like, I don't want to get stronger. I just want to play the game as easily as possible. Why is there no easy mode just so I can beat every boss in one shot? Which is, I think, honestly a hilarious meme. Just be like, Asio doesn't want to actually try. He just wants to go through the game and see everything, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to progress through everything as smoothly as possible, understand the mechanics, which is something that From Software does really well. And they also give the player a lot of things, like, for example, one of the ways Asio actually managed to reach Stormvale Castle is because Ronnie gave him Ashen Spirits. And then he used the Ashen Spirits to fight through the enemies and make it to the castle. So he made the game easier for himself by using the Ashen Summons, which is one of the mechanics the game introduced to make it easier for the player. And Asio took full advantage of it until Margit the Fell Omen showed up and the dogs got scared and left. They abandoned him in the middle of the fight, so he was just like, okay, I'm just gonna lie down and die now. Okay, enough talking about that. Let me just tell you, this is an amazing manga. I absolutely love it. It gives Melina so much more attention than the video game ever did. And seeing her get a lot of attention in the manga is amazing. She is one of the most mysterious characters in the entire video game. There's a lot of stuff implied about her background, but we don't know enough of it. So seeing her being in the forefront of this manga is amazing. If you guys love the video games, you're gonna love this series. It's so good that I actually wish some of the dialogue from this manga was available in the game. Even if it's only available to the deprived class. That would have been hilarious. You play as the deprived, and the opening cinematic ends with Melina going, wait, this isn't right. It would have been such a funny Easter egg. While you play as the deprived class, you just get berated and insulted by every character. And they're just like, oh, you're naked. That's weird. You're such a bum. How do you have no clothes? Why are you only wielding a club? Here, take this sword. Here's a free Ash of Summons. And it would have been hilarious. And Margit was like, oh, you look like a potato. Here, I'll give you the talisman pouch. Just at the start of the fight, he just gives it to you. Like, go get stronger. Come back to me when you're actually a decent warrior. It would have been so hilarious to see. And you know what? That's why I love this manga. It's here for us. We have an opportunity to laugh at the story that may have caused us all a lot of pain when we first started playing it. The artwork is also amazing. The characters in the manga look exactly exactly the same way they do in the game. And some of the facial expressions are so well done, I couldn't help but die just from seeing them. Like, the way the artwork and the facial expressions work together, it reminded me of Gintama. So much so I actually thought it was that author who made this. It wasn't, but still, it's reminiscent of it so much. If you guys like parody mangas like Gintama, this will definitely be right up your alley. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one, folks. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. I hope to see you in the next one, and remember to keep having fun. See ya!